My childhood started to get rocky at the age of 8, when I first encountered being molested. I remember feeling that my innocence was taken. It was almost like I was just robbed. As far as me just telling, it wasn't an option. I'd never built that bond with an older sibling or my mother to just share that with, especially not my father. I just remember him not being around as much, and when he did come around, he was drunk and very abusive to my mother. Everything just happened so fast, and my mom screamed for my older brother to come and help her. So, I'm thinking, what's going on? I run into the room, and my father was kneeling on the right side of the bed, and he had a stroke and died that night. My mother was left to just raise the rest of us. So one evening, while my mother was working the midnight shift, I had got a candle, and I fell asleep with the candle lit in my hand. I woke up, and my bed was on fire. I remember looking over at my sister. I remember us running downstairs to get water to put the fire out, and not thinking to just get up and running to the other room where my niece and nephew were asleep. The house burned down, and later, my niece and nephews were in the house, and they died, 9 months and 1 year old. I felt like a murderer. I would tell myself in my mind, you're so stupid, why didn't you go? And I would have dreams replaying that I did go in the room and get them, and I wake up with feeling that it's true, and it just depressed me even more. After the fire, for my 14th birthday, my mother got me, my twin, this huge cake, and I just remember feeling happy, excited, and just loved. I actually think that was like my first cake, to come to think about it. I was just on a high, but then, unfortunately, I felt it was snatched away in seconds, because a week later, my mother was kidnapped, taken to a vacant house on the east side of Detroit, shot in the head and killed. My whole world just shattered. You go through so much in life, and you start to feel loved. You start to feel appreciated and wanted, because you just dealt with sad stuff after sad stuff, and then you finally get happy, and then the person that made that moment goes away. In the 8th grade, I met an English teacher by the name of Yvonne Grimet, and I was in her class, and I would cut up bad in her class. She went to her husband, Reverend Grimet, and shared some things with him, and so Reverend Grimet and Yvonne Grimet put together this group of a class where they counsel students that has gone through some hardship. Well, that class ended up being a Bible study. The people around me were so full of life, I wanted to follow what they were following. So I just had to know who this Jesus was. I just felt I need to give it to Jesus, because I couldn't handle it anymore. At my breaking point, I have no hope, so I gave my life to Christ. It's amazing how life before that was so gray, and then when I gave my life to Christ, it's like I woke up. And that's when my true healing process started. I can't sit here and say, oh, it's great. No, it's painful, because healing is really just letting go, accepting, forgiving, and trusting that God is going to put every crack that happened in the time when your heart was broken to be completely healed. So my healing process was painful, but it was worth it, because I'm whole now, and I'm free, and I can share it with someone and help them. I'm able to take what I've experienced and put it into a song and just tell the world about God and how good He is.